Good evening and welcome to Knights Stadium, home of football. As far as the Melbourne Knights are concerned, beautiful sunshine, and it's wonderful to be here for a big clash in the Men's Premier League for Football Victoria. Round 22, two teams that won't play in the finals. The Melbourne Knights have had one of those tumultuous years, a changing coach halfway through. They've been pretty competitive in a lot of games. If you look at their goal difference of -2, Pascoe Vale down near the bottom, a goal difference of -17, but have been reasonably competitive in patches. My name is Dan Lonergan. With me tonight is my co-commentator Adam Sarakoglu. Adam, great to have you with us.
Hi Dan, always great being here at Knights Stadium, and this is a big match, particularly for Melbourne Knights, but Pascoe Vale as well. They're trying to see if they can escape the relegation battle, but it's going to be hard, as we know. But Melbourne Knights, they're only 4 points off the top 6 pace, so 3 points tonight could be really valuable for the hosts.
Well, they're right in the mix, you're right, and looking at the relegation, they're 1 point from the bottom, of course, Pascoe Vale against Kingston City. So the Knights will be defending first because the Pascoe Vale team get first possession as Corey Sewell tries to get involved for Melbourne Knights on halfway, and the turnover. Pascoe Vale have possession in front of, I'll call them the cheer squad over the outer side of the park here at Knights Stadium. I've called once from that old grandstand or the old commentary box, which has been shut down for some renovations, as Knights now have possession at halfway, turned over, and they get it back, and the player with possession and trying to control it is Albano. Scored 6 goals this year, but he loses possession to Yusuf, and then they get it back in the direction of, and doing well, Pascoe Vale, but then they have to turn it back. And having possession is Hatzikustas, who now gets the ball and puts it over the sideline, right in front of the Melbourne Knights coach's box. So Knights now in possession again. And Anthony Dulzo, they go back, and he switches it nicely to Aidan Bryce. Bryce brings it down the left-hand side. Knights looking for a through ball, had too much on it. And it's taken at the back by the goalkeeper, Nick Feely, for Pascoe Vale. They've had 3 clean sheets this year, Pascoe Vale, as they control it at the back again. Comes from the boot of Gonzalo Avascal, one of the defenders. And they're now in midfield. Yusuf, though, turns it over. Here's an opportunity now for the Melbourne Knights. Shoots, but kicks into the body of Feely. It was 1-on-1 and Feely did well to knock it away, and that was good defence on that occasion and a great goalkeeping save, Adam, by Pascoe Vale's Nick Feely.
He's actually surprisingly had an outstanding season, which given their third last on the table, you'd be surprised, but he's had to come save the day for Pascoe Vale, and an early save there. Great start, though, by Melbourne Knights, really attacking. Yes,
they are attacking, and they're in possession. Offley has to go back. They bring it out the left-hand side. Bryce, reliable defender. They bring it down that left-hand side again, but Pascoe Vale look to try and turn it over. Here's a chance now. Ball comes inside. Hamish Watson, who's the key goal scorer with 9 for the Melbourne Knights, has it turned over inside the defensive half by Pascoe Vale, and they switch towards the far side. And now back into the near side. A turnover again on halfway. And Knights in possession and controlling it deftly. And this is good play by Jurkovic, one of the defenders, as they switch to the outer side. The Melbourne Knights again in possession. They've had the lion's share of the possession in the first couple of minutes, as we get a clear look at the moon right over the other side here of Knights Stadium, and the ball is over the byline. It will be a Feely goal kick for Pascoe Vale. 0-all early stages of this round 22 clash in the Men's Premier League.
Good to see John Albano involved early at central midfield. Really important link man for Melbourne Knights. Definitely one to watch for Pascoe Vale this evening.
17 goals minus differentiation for Pascoe Vale, -2 for Melbourne Knights, who've been in many of their games this year, as Pascoe Vale lob it high, but it's kept inside the attacking half by Melbourne Knights. Around the far side, turnover again. Yusuf does well for Pascoe Vale, controls it once and twice, and then a long through ball Coming out, Gifkins, the goalkeeper, does well to get a boot to it as he comes outside the penalty area. Melbourne Knights control it at ground level. Around that far side, they'll look to switch again. Corey Sewell in the middle, couldn't get control of it. Arriving, and there should be a free kick to go the way of the Melbourne Knights. A poor challenge on Jurkovic as Sewell takes the free kick, lobs it long. Here's a chance now, and it's offside against Melbourne Knights. 1-on-3, and Watson tried to get in the right position, but he had a couple of opponents around him and managed to ensure that he took the ball in an offside position. So Pascoe Vale in possession, and they'll drive it long through Gonzalo Abascal. Again, he goes to the outer side of Knight Stadium, controlling it, still in the defensive half, in a central location, and Abascal has it once again. 3 or 4 possessions in this movement as they get to halfway, trying to control it. Leck gets a little ball down for Pascoe Vale. It's turned over again though, and he manages to get it back though, Leck. Here's an opportunity for Pascoe Vale. The ball coming in the direction of Hatzimuratis, and then there's a header towards the top of the 6-yard box. Sewell gets a boot in it, cleared by Melbourne Knights. That was the first positive move for Pascoe Vale going forward, and eventually they win the ball back, still inside the attacking half, putting pressure on the Knights, who've managed to get back in the penalty area. All their defenders are there. A little bit flat-footed. Now they get a through ball. Duzal, an opportunity. Gets it at halfway. Here's Watson. I thought he might have been tagged. He goes long and high as the goalkeeper was well off his line, fairly, but he's inaccurate to the left-hand side. That was an amazing effort.
Just fell wide, unfortunately, there for Hamish Watson, playing fairly high so far this evening. Just at the other end, the previous attack, though, saw Dimi Hatzimuratis just lose his footing. It's a little bit patchy out there. Had he not lost his footing, maybe a shot, as we see. A little bit of trouble for Nick Feely trying to get off that last line of defence.
And he does. Abascal, but it's turned over again. Here's an opportunity, Duzal. Duzal, the through ball. Shot at goal. And good save again by the defence as Feely was offline, and the defence got back, and what they've done is they've conceded the first penalty corner of the night, which Corey Sewell, with all the hair, will take on the far side here of Knight Stadium.
Can't allow Mohamed Awad to have that much space. He was the goal scorer last week in the original derby against South Melbourne, 10-minute mark, and Corey Sewell's going to whip this ball in. I'll be looking out for Hamish Watson, not only him, but as well Aidan Bryce, number 5, as well. He's the tall marking man just at the top of the box.
He's got a couple of metres too there. It gets past Aidan Bryce. It's knocked away by the goalkeeper fairly, and it'll be cleared by Pascoe Vale, a high ball, but stopped still inside the attacking half by the Knights. They go back and they want to slow it down and get going again. Ball comes out, and this is Bryce, the aforementioned. Now Franjic, the captain, whose brother Ivan's played for Australia, played for the Raw, played for Melbourne City. A number of the A-League teams also played overseas. And now Pascoe Vale share it in the defensive half. Awad trying to get involved for the Melbourne Knights. Now they bring the ball towards halfway. Raheen has it now for Pascoe Vale. Brings it down the left-hand side and looking to try and keep it alive. This is Aizen Ishkan. Ishkan, though his pass was stopped. Again, good defence at the back by the Knights. And Duzal again is there. And they bring it down now to Watson. Watson zigzagging his way to the far side. Now to Awad. The pass too long for Watson, who tried to get on the end of it. A couple of opponents have got on goal side to make it a bit hard for Hamish Watson. And it's cleaned up at the back by Feely. It remains 0-0.
Just want to see Pascoe Vale actually launch an attack that does result in a shot on target. It's that ball in, that last ball in, they've really struggled with all year long. And Davey Van Schip, when he was in the lineup, that's why he grew frustrated so often. There's a chance here for Dimi Hatzimuratis, but I think that's the case in point right there. That's a perfect example of how Pascoe Vale have really struggled entering the attacking third.
It's David Von Schip, the son of?
I'm not actually sure, Dan.
He's not there tonight, though, so there's an opportunity for the Pascoe Vale team to win it back inside the defensive half through Yusuf. And now they've got it at halfway through Raheen again. Raheen, a long ball. Again, good defence by the Melbourne Knights, but players slip over and Pascoe Vale win it back. Player goes down, and it will be a free kick to Pascoe Vale, the visitors. Dimitri Hatzimuratis was brought down about 10 metres outside the penalty area, and it will be a Pascoe Vale ball and taken by Daniel Leck. Look to try and curl it in. Most of the players are camped at the top of the penalty area, as you can see on the screen. And he will look to aim for the left-hand side of the goalkeeper. Gifkins is more stationed on the right-hand side. He does go the right-hand side, and the defence is there. They head it away, but controlled again by Rahimi. He elects to get it back inside the penalty area. We've been told to sit down by the members in the Paducah Lounge. Here's an opportunity now for the Melbourne Knights down that left-hand side. A long ball comes in from Galvanis. But again, the Pascoe Vale defence pretty good. And now they control it. Yusuf got a little ball in there. And helping him out is Lek, who's been good so far. He gets to the middle of the pitch. And he finds his teammate, Hatzikotsis. And they share it still in the defensive half as Knights get back right on their defensive half. Either midway or just behind. Making it hard for Pascoe Vale at this stage, Adam, to find a way through.
Well, Hatzimuratis has come a long way up here to number 9 for Pascoe Vale. And again, Dan, this is what I'm talking about. Pascoe Vale all season just really struggling to find a way through as they enter the attacking third. And that's just too easy a ball for Melbourne Knights.
Well, they're playing into their hands, aren't they? As Duzal has it now. Receives the throw. Spreads it out now. And the Knights look to build again through Franjic, the captain. Arriving late, Price. Back to Franjic again. Franjic down that right-hand side. A long ball. Player offside. Knight supporters not happy, but he was definitely offside on that occasion. Attila Offley, who scored twice this season for the Melbourne Knights. Very famous football team, as we know. The home of Mark Viduka, hence why we've got the Mark Viduka Lounge behind us. We're broadcasting from in the grandstand here at Knight Stadium. Andrew Marth, Steve Horvat, who of course has gone across to be in charge of the new team in the A-League. So it'll be interesting how he goes there, having commentated a lot with him in the ABC over the years, former international. As they can't get their way through Pascoe Vale, and Feely has a couple of cracks at it, hands it out to the right-hand side. Nice long high ball. And now they have possession down the right-hand side. Hatzimuratis runs into trouble, has to go back now to a more central location, sharing it with Yusuf and Hatzikostas. And it's turned over now, though. Terrific work by Watson. He was brilliant, and he's brought down. But the ref says no, and Rahimi wins it back now for Pascoe Vale. Looks for Lek. Lek now looks to drive it long down the right-hand side. Hatzimuratis runs into trouble just on the edge of the penalty area, and his pass is wide, but it was off the Melbourne Knights, and it'll be taken by Pascoe Vale inside their attacking half. It's 0-0, early stages of this round 22 Men's Premier League clash.
And again, I'd hate to be critical of the surface, but Corey Sill fell down and Hatzimuratis did as well as the ball came his way. It's going to be really tricky. It's a dry night, might be a little bit dewy out there, but it's one of those nights where you've really got to be able to keep your feet.
I walked across it. There are a few potholes there too. It was like lots of mud. It's obviously an area that's causing concern. We had a lot of rain this week. There's not much I can do about it, but there are so many of these stadiums as they go inside the attacking half that have synthetic surfaces. I look at the Veneto Club in Bulleen as one of the best in the competition. It's a magnificent surface, and Heidelberg have had a lot of games washed out this year, Adam, for both men and women, because their surface hasn't been up to scratch.
Yeah, I think a game has been rescheduled for later in August as well for Heidelberg United.
As they try and get inside the penalty area, but Sewell's there. Once again, the defence under the pump a little bit. And Duzal and Sewell are among those that are having to defend grimly to protect the goalkeeper Gifkins, and Pascoe Vale wins the football again inside their attacking half, sends it down the right-hand side. Hatzimuratis, that pass goes right across the goal face, cleared at the back by the defenders, Franjic, but again, Pascoe Vale with numbers as they defend nicely. Hatzikostas, long ball inside the attacking half. Again, good defence by the Knights, and Anthony Duzal. He chests it to his own advantage, gets it out to Awad. Awad down the left-hand side. and goes back now to Duzal. Franjic, and then winning the ball at ground level is Jerkovic. Back towards Franjic, the captain. He almost lost control of it. Hatzimaratis was there, bearing down on him, and has to go back to the goalkeeper, Gifkins. Hatzimaratis closes on him, so he kicks it to a teammate on the outer side, and Melbourne Knights build again inside the attacking half, and they look to try and get things going with good skill. Albano does well, but then he runs into some trouble in the form of white shirts, all confronting him. Back to Sewell. And now the Knights drive it out towards the right-hand side. This is a better opportunity inside the attacking half. Here's a chance now. Albano, is he put down inside the penalty area? A few of the Knights supporters are saying penalty. I'm not sure, but the ref has said no. So at the end of the day, it's a close shot, madam.
I think he collected enough ball, and there was a previous challenge before as well where the home fans were asking for a free kick, but some good tackling by Pascoe Vale as Joseph Youssef looks like he's gone down and just gets up now, a little gingerly, been sort of on and off starting and as a sub for Pascoe Vale for a lot of the season, and he's just a little ginger as we speak. We get a break in play, a much needed one, I think, particularly for Melbourne Knights, because their back four have been under siege in the last 5 minutes or so. We might actually have an early substitution. I think we will. Nick Georgopoulos might be getting ready to replace Joseph Youssef.
And what would that mean for Pascoe Vale? You said he hasn't played a full game a lot this year, but he is the captain, and to have him off early, will it affect them a lot?
I'd expect the armband to probably go to Adrian Tallarico, who's been taking it when Youssef hasn't started. It's an attacking move, though. Georgopoulos, he can score, plays a high sort of central sort of position in midfield, but can be a dangerous option. He's a young man as well. He'll be the youngest man out on the pitch. Clearly not 100% all season long, Joseph Youssef, but Georgopoulos will come on and provide a little bit of spark maybe for Pascoe Vale, but certainly costly to have to give up one of your substitutes so early.
How old is he? He looks about 10 years old, Nick Georgopoulos. He's baby-faced out there. Have to get the binoculars up soon. He looks about as tall as my son, who's 14. Has the same colour boots as my son wears for his football team, Kyneton, in the Bendigo League, playing on Sunday at Maryborough. So a big drive for us, but we enjoy it as an opportunity at the back for Pascoe Vale to clear again. And they've been pretty solid, their defence so far. Baskel's one that's had a lot of the ball. And combining with Hatzikostas. And Hatzikostas looks to take them on. Approaches halfway. Brought down again, but the ump thought it was a fair challenge. Turned over magnificently by the Knights. And Offley does well. And then a nice header by Awad. And there's going to be offside just as the defender Georgopoulos arrived for Pascoe Vale, but that looked a bit dangerous on that occasion for Melbourne Knights, didn't it?
There'll be a lot of fans here that probably think it should at least be 1-0 in favour of Melbourne Knights. It's now 3 offsides and 2 saves by Nick Feely that have kept the clean sheet for Pascoe Vale. Really, really dangerous signs when Melbourne Knights do attack, and they just seem like they have so much more space and a little bit more touch when they are in their attacking third as opposed to when Pascoe Vale is, and that's the difference so far, albeit we're not seeing it on the scoreboard.
Is it the knowledge of the ground too a bit?
Oh, potentially they might know. When you spoke about little potholes on the pitch and that sort of thing, maybe the Knights players know a little bit more about where the footing could be a little bit more tricky as we see Offley go down. Another free kick for Melbourne Knights. Not really a windy night either, so it's not really one of those nights where you'd expect a massive home ground advantage other than just the comfortable surrounds for the Knights. Maybe that is a factor.
Most people are sitting here in the grandstand or in the lounge, but of course you've got those die-hard supporters, rain, hail or shine. Here's a chance for a goal, and Melbourne Knights score a goal, and they'll get excited now. Brilliant goal by the Knights as they brought it inside the attacking half and in the penalty area down the left-hand side, and the goal has been scored for the Knights. It's only taken 15 minutes, and Awad has scored the goal. Brilliant goal, and they combined brilliantly. I was just saying that those supporters on the other side are absolutely loving to be here, rain, hail or shine, and they'll get excited now with Knights 1-0, and they probably deserved it, Adam, didn't they?
Yeah, that's really hard work. That's earned that goal for. Yeah, so Awad's confirmed with the loudspeaker here. That's his second goal in 2 weeks, and really similar goal to last week as well, where they just really hammered the opposition goalkeeper, and finally it pays off the Knights. So it's a deserved 1-0 lead.
Here's the baby-faced assassin. Georgopoulos has come on. He takes them on and goes down the left-hand side, but he's pushed away from being goal side by Frangic, the solid defender. But that was a good contest. He did well, the young fellow. He needed more support, and in the end it goes over the byline. And I think it's going to be it will be a goal kick. I thought, no, it will be a goal kick. I thought that maybe Melbourne Knights might have had the last touch, but they didn't. And it's taken by Sewell. Sewell outside the penalty area. And here's a chance to be set up by Offley. Offley has a couple of opponents around him. Clever with his pass. Turned over, though, by Pascoe Vale. Hatzikostas does well. And then a long ball for Rahimi. Rahimi down the right-hand side. Hatzimuratis was waiting for that, but his teammate slipped over and trying to take the ball. Rahimi now shoots and goes high and long over the crossbar, but that wasn't a bad effort, about 6 metres outside the penalty area. A shot on target, but just a little bit high in the end, and it is 1-0 favour of Melbourne Knights. And
again, we see Pascoe Vale striker go down. It might have been Leck, if not Hatzimuratis that time, but that was actually a quality ball in. Just couldn't get the finish there, Pascoe Vale, then a long-range shot from Rahimi after that. Pascoe Vale just need to keep it up as best they can. Eventually it will pay off, but a little bit more of that sort of finishing and touch, and they might be on the scoreboard soon enough.
Certainly having a go as the Melbourne Knights players all get back, sagging back right on halfway. Gifkins brings it down. It's headed down by Pascoe Vale and over the sideline in front of the Melbourne Knights coach's box and taken by the Knights. Turned over, Offley does well, tries to get it through to Albano, back to Offley, ricochets, he's pushed down, a blatant push, and that is obvious. On that occasion, Pascoe Vale player Aishan Ishak, well, he couldn't have made that look more obvious if he actually was even closer to the ref, if you know what I mean.
Maybe it was a professional foul. You know, he was worried about Attila Offley making a run, sending a ball in. It may have been because it was pretty blatant surprise maybe that there wasn't a yellow, maybe a talking to at least, but we'll see what Corey Sewell can do here.
Corey Sewell, good ball towards the 6-yard box, headed away by the Pascoe Vale defence, and then cleared on this occasion by Ishak. And now a chance for Hatzimuratis, but he can't get near that, and it's over the sideline. But he's happy because it will be a Pascoe Vale ball inside the defensive half as the cheer squad on the other side in front of the soon-to-be-demolished commentary box, having a lovely time with their team up 1-0 for the Melbourne Knights. Very passionate supporters, as we know. Pascoe Vale will go defensively on this occasion and taking the ball and getting a lot of it is Avascal. Avascal, one of the central defenders, but he turns it over at midfield. Here's Offley. Offley again on one of those searching runs. He goes for a shot, but it didn't get enough on it, and it was along the grass and taken cleanly on the left-hand side in the box by Fairley, who brings it out towards the far side, and they look to get going again through Rahini. They have the ball now through Georgopoulos, back to Rahini. Pascoe Vale inside the attacking half, looking to try and control it. I thought Hatzimuratis was pushed down, could have been a free kick, but one not given, and then a player was pushed down for Pascoe Vale, and they'll take a free kick inside the attacking half as they trail 1-0. Rahini, little pass wide, taken by Leck. Back to Rahini. Rahini, a little ball now to Georgopoulos. Turned over almost by Awad. Has to go back now. And they've got players everywhere. Sewell. But his pass is stopped at halfway inside the defensive half by Pascoe Vale right in front of the cheer squad. And again, Pascoe Vale decide that they'll be defensive and maybe open it up for Avascal. Avascal now will go long and high. Switch to the right-hand side. A high ball has plenty on it. It sets now for Hatzimuratis. Hatzimuratis running out of room. Try to get it back. Awad's there to help it out. Oh, gee, Jurkovic waited for that ball to bobble and bounce just outside the box. And it could have been trouble there, Adam, because there were a couple of opponents from Pascoe Vale lurking with intent. Luckily, the ball goes over the sideline. It will be a goal kick for Melbourne Knights, who lead 1-0.
Yeah, it can be a game of luck sometimes, I guess. But I'll tell you what, Pascoe Vale keep this up. I think we will see an equaliser soon enough. But Knights just probably need to, I think since the goal, I just need to settle down a little bit, Melbourne Knights now. Just sort of get some consistent possession going and just stay on top of the ball for a little while just to settle back down a little bit.
They go low, but it's turned over. Bernardo Madrid, he couldn't control it though. Taken by Jerkovic for the Melbourne Knights, a solid defender. Balls at midway. Nice little nod by Sewell. Goes back defensively and finds Duzal. Duzal now with Bryce. Bryce combining well. Awad at halfway now for the Melbourne Knights. And Sewell arrives to lend support. Kicks into bodies, gets it back. Down the left-hand side, had too much on it. It will be a Pascoe Vale ball as Awad was in pursuit. And he is the scorer of the goal in this first half as he came down that left-hand side, had a little bit of traffic around him, but managed to get it past the goalkeeper, Nick Fearley. And now Pascoe Vale in the defensive half have possession of the ball. Avascal again. He's the central defender. Has to get around a couple of opponents. One of them, Hamish Watson, who's hotly pursuing him. Gets it to Hatzikostas, and now they're almost at halfway. Defenders are there as they turn it over. Melbourne Knights, their pressure was immense. But again, Pascoe Vale managed to get it back in their defensive half. Down the right-hand side, looking to control it. They push it on again. Raheny gets a little ball on that. Still down the right-hand side. Here's a chance for them to set something up. A long ball comes in from Madrid. Stopped at the top of the penalty area. Sewell does well to trap it. Just beats a lunging tackle, but he turns it over badly. And Avascal is there again to trap it, doing all the cleaning up at the back, helping his goalkeeper out for Pascoe Vale. Down the left-hand side again. Little ball comes inside from Pascoe Vale, but turned over again by the Knights. This is Albano, who scored 6 goals this year. 2 opponents right near him. He loses his footing again. How many times are players falling down? Because the pitch, to me, just seems to be substandard. Raheny has the ball. He goes down the right-hand side. It gets headed away, and they've got numbers at the back, Melbourne Knights, as that could have been a little bit dangerous for them, and it's cleaned up at the back by Gifkins, the goalkeeper.
Getting news of a goal at Jack Edwards Reserve. It's Oakley and Port Melbourne, 1-0 to Port Melbourne, which could be a potential upset brewing. There's another game, of course, kicking off at 8:15. Bentley Greens and Heidelberg United. That's a big one tonight as well.
Massive game. 2 of the teams expected to feature in the finals. As Offley has the ball now, he's under pressure. Good ball down the right-hand side, playing it to his own advantage. Albano running out of room, crosses to the top of the 6-yard box, but a tremendous stop by Fearley. Had a defender right near him, so I think things are going to be okay for Pascoe Vale, but he dived on it, almost collided with a teammate, but things are okay. It's 1-0. But a good attempt across by Melbourne Knights. And now Raheny with Pascoe Vale in the defensive half, looking to drive again. Leckie working hard. Back to Avascal, who's the go-to man to try and set things up for them. And now it's Ishak. Back to Avascal. Avascal in the defensive half, driving ball down the left-hand side, had too much on it. 2 opponents were right with Madrid on that occasion. Going to make it hard for him to get an opportunity to try and cross it inside the box, and wasn't able to, so it remains at 1-0.
The idea might be right, though. Felipe Bernabeu Madrid's barely been involved so far. Get him involved into the game can be dangerous on this left side for Pascoe Vale. Didn't mind the idea, obviously lacking execution.
Ball's at midfield, almost a turnover, and now here's a chance if they can make something good of this. Ishak, he goes wide now to the right-hand side. Lek's there. He's almost shoved off it by Awad. He does well to beat a couple of opponents, and it's pushed on again by Raheny, who's been pretty good so far. One of the main midfielders for Pascoe Vale. A couple of opponents hanging off him, and Avascal's there right on halfway. A searching run now. He might shoot. Heads out the right-hand side to Georgopoulos. Got too much on it for the youngster, and he wasn't able to control it over the byline. But the idea was certainly there as they're starting to string some passes together, the Pascoe Vale team, and they are putting immense pressure on the Melbourne Knights defence, or holding firm.
Well, since the goal, the game's almost been on Pascoe Vale's terms, and they're dominating possession without having access to the numbers. Dan, it would feel like that Pascoe Vale have had a lot of possession, definitely since the goal, and just lacking that final touch third. I know I keep banging on about it, but it's kind of the difference at the moment. Knights are making better use of their opportunities, forcing saves of Nick Fearley. I haven't seen Jordan Gifkins really tested yet in the Melbourne Knights goal. That is the difference in this game so far.
Now, Pascoe Vale are defending. Avascal's the man, the central defender, who tends to set up a lot of their moves from the back. Hatzikostas lending him support. Ishak has it now. runs into trouble. Offley's with him as well, who certainly confronted him. And the Melbourne Knights coach's box is saying, well, he reckons that Ishak, or they reckon that Ishak had the ball last, but it's given the way of the Pascoe Vale team. And it's taken by Ishak, and he finds Pascoe. And now Hatzi Costas heads out to the right-hand side. Raheny has it at midfield, inside the attacking half, down that right-hand side now. Too long for Hatzi Moratis, and it's stopped at the back by Jordan Gifkins. Again, an easy ball for him to have to clean up with his team leading 1-0, the Melbourne Knights. And they get going again down that left-hand side. They've had 4 clean sheets this year. At 3 after conceding that early goal to Mohamed Awad of the Melbourne Knights. He now has possession at halfway, lobs it up to Sewell. Sewell now heads down that left-hand side. Awad is very, very quick. He just keeps it alive now. This is where he came to score his goal previously. Tries to take on a couple of opponents. He's now inside the box. He gets it towards Albano, who's pushed to ground. It was a nice lobbing ball. He couldn't get much on it. And now it's headed at halfway as the Pascoe Vale team tried to clear, but good play by Franjic. And he got it back now towards Duzal. And now they're in possession again down the left-hand side. And Awad, who's causing a lot of problems for the Pascoe Vale defence. But in the end, it will be a Pascoe Vale ball, and they can take a breath.
Restricted space to work in for Gianni Albano as well. He had no opportunity at all to test Nick Feely in the previous attack as well. And you see that ball just bob up there. Just as it arrived at Nick Feely there, Dan, the pitch is really playing havoc, and Nick Feely almost had to think twice as that ball was coming back to him.
Well, Raheny was shoved a couple of times there as Feely played it to Raheny and back to Feely, and Feely goes wide to the outer side, and it's headed over the sideline, right in front of the cheer squad for the Melbourne Knights. Just getting to know the men's football competition in the Premier League. I'm sure they've got a name. They're very passionate. I had a bit of a chat to them as I headed over there, thinking that's where the commentary box would be tonight, and found out it was locked. Boys were all very friendly, all very happy. In a nice way, Adam. I don't know whether I want to get on the wrong side of them, particularly if they're getting beaten 5-0. You probably wouldn't understand there, would you?
There's a few more there than usual, I think. Yeah. I've been to a couple of Knights games this year, and I think I did Knights and Green Gully, the local derby, much earlier in the season, and definitely not as many of the active supporters over on that side than what there were that night. And they were directly below me. That's what we're calling in that box that night, Dan.
Well, I did Knights in Kingston, and there weren't many there that night, but a lot here tonight against Pascoe Vale. They can still smell finals, finish top 6 if they can. It's a looping ball, but it's turned over as Pascoe Vale had it in their defensive half, but he couldn't control it awfully. And the Vale win it back again at halfway. Hatzi Moratis gets it inside the attacking half. Played on by Madrid. There's call of handball. And it will be a Melbourne Knights ball as they couldn't quite control it. They had an opportunity there, Leck, in the attacking half for Pascoe Vale as they look a bit threatening, but just can't quite piece that last pass together in the final third to put a bit of pressure on Gifkins, with Melbourne Knights leading 1-0. Long ball down the far side again, headed away and over the sideline by the Pascoe Vale defence, who've been kept busy. Mohamed Awad is their go-to man, having scored the goal. Hamish Watson, 9 goals this year. Couldn't get involved then from the throw-in. It's over the sideline, but once again the team in red, Melbourne Knights, will get possession. Back now, almost at halfway, slightly defensive throw. They'll look to build again. They'll go on the switch if they can. Jerkovic is calling for it. It won't get to him. It'll go a bit further and a bit more attacking position to Offley, but again he slips over. That's about the 8th player to slip over tonight, and one at the back by Pascoe. He gets it back defensively to Feely. As Offley approaches him, Feely kicks it long and high inside the attacking half. The header came down from Madrid opposed to Sewell, but at the back, Franjic will clean it up. Back to Sewell in the defensive half for the Melbourne Knights. He takes on Madrid and beats him comfortably. Nice pass out wide. And this is taken by Jerkovic, who controls it from a lunging young Georgopoulos, who came on early as a sub for the injured skipper Youssef for Pascoe Vale. And now they control. This is Albano. Albano down the right-hand side. He'll go long and high and getting off his line a little bit fairly, but he was able to read it nicely and take it inside the box with his team down 1-0. So they have it inside the defensive half. Pascoe Vale, Raheny again. His pass hopefully will be to a teammate as far as he's concerned. It is. He had to weave through traffic to get it. And Madrid's waiting for it now. Ishak takes it on the left-hand side. And now here's Hatzi Moratis. Getting it from Hatzikotsis, who was involved on a couple of passes there, just on halfway with Raheny, who's got it now to Georgopoulos. Heads out to the right-hand side. Madrid goes back now towards Raheny. 5 minutes from the penalty area. He might shoot, but it's turned over again. 4-on-1. They managed to turn it over, but Georgopoulos stands back. He turns it over for Pascoe Vale. Hatzikostas couldn't get much on that. Good ball by Offley. Beating a couple of defenders, and Watson wins it now. He's dangerous, we know. Running on the right-hand side is Jerkovic. Gets it now towards Albano. Albano on the edge of the area. A couple of opponents come to meet him. He's running out of room, pushing and shoving. And eventually the ball will be taken as a corner kick, because it was great defence by Pascoe Vale to get back. They were in a bit of trouble there, Adam, for a while.
He's done well to win the corner as well, Gianno Albano, and another dangerous ball coming in. You can see Aidan Bryce sneaking in there as well. He's had an outstanding season for Melbourne Knights. Hamish Watson starting a little bit further back. In the third option is Nikola Jokovic as well for Melbourne Knights. Corey Saul will be an in-swinging ball. Don't be surprised if it heads toward the back post. Aidan Bryce, the man to watch here, number 5, I reckon.
Well, it comes in, but it's parried away brilliantly by Fearley. And it will be a free kick for the Pascoe Vale team. A number of bodies heavily involved in that corner that came in inside the penalty area. And Fearley, quite a big man, like a seesaw, tipped over the top and parried it away, and they win possession. Raheny at halfway. His through ball is okay. Anwar couldn't control it. Ball comes down the right-hand side. And now Pascoe Vale, just this last pass, as we've spoken about, just having a few hassles trying to string that together. And now they have to go backwards because the defence of Melbourne Knights is very good. They've got all their players in the defensive half. Watson is in their most attacking position as Anwar turns it over, and Watson gets on the end of it. He is onside. He'll be battling with Fearley and 2 opponents, but great defence. It's lobbed back and now offside. Offside, unfortunately, for the Melbourne Knights on the right-hand side as he came in late inside the penalty area, Offley, and his shot actually hit the right upright. He missed anyway, but it was called offside. Outstanding
defending by Gonzalo Pascoe, but I know the offside flag went up, potentially one that Attila Offley could have asked for back, but outstanding defence by Pascoe Vale.
They were in trouble, weren't they? It looked like it was going to be one-on-one, wasn't it, with Fearley and Watson. And then Albasco he got on his bike. He's been terrific in defence tonight. He's been so composed, so reliable. You need that centre-back to just play with a cool head, and he's done that brilliantly. As Hatzikostas almost, well, he does slip over. I'll say that's another slip. I'm counting 10 at the moment, Adam. And here's an opportunity for Albasco. A long ball to the right-hand side. Headed down, arriving late Madrid, but he was behind 3 opponents. Sewell, he had a missed kick, didn't get onto it. Raheny, a nice little nodder. Raheny wins it back again inside the area. Beats a couple. Looks to go back to the top of the area. His opponents were around him. Madrid looks to try and shoot. But what he did was he kicked into bodies. And it goes over the byline. It will be a corner kick, the first one of the night for Pascoe Vale at the western end. So this might be dangerous for them. It's been a competitive match. Lovely goal from the left-hand side by Awad. But you'd have to say that possession has been pretty even for both teams.
Yeah, the Knights have had a good couple of minutes here.
It's a low corner kick. It's pushed away by the Knights' defence from the near upright. Then one back again by Leck, who was a man who was involved in the corner kick. Nice ball. Here's Raheen arriving in the 6-yard box. Has trouble controlling it. Gets it back to a central location. Madrid looks to score. But unfortunately for him, his shot just sails wide along the ground. He couldn't quite control it. He had opponents hanging off him. And he took it at pace. And it just sailed across the goal face and had a diving Gifkins trying to control it on the right-hand side.
But again, what we saw there, and then prior to the corner as well, 2 shots, but they weren't on target then. That is the difference right now.
But they're certainly keeping Melbourne Knights honest. It's a good contest. Saul nearly loses control of it. Georgopoulos is right with him. Has to give it back. High ball by the Knights. Just inside the attacking half. Albasca's there again. He's magnificent with his volley, but he turns it over. And they bring it down the left-hand side, the Melbourne Knights. They look to cut inside. Opponents right there, forcing them to go back, change direction, change their mind, and Franjic wins it now in the defensive half. He'll go on a searching run as the opponents are sagged back, and now Raheny approaches him. Won by Offley. Offley back to the middle of the park. Duzal, good fancy footwork. Sewell, good through ball to Watson. Back to Duzal. Now the opponents approach him. Awad on his own. On the left-hand side. Little through ball. Okay. Awad looking to get it back. Runs down that left-hand side. Albano gets the ball back to Duzal. But there are 4 or 5 white shirts around him. Goes out to the right-hand side. But good defence by Pascoe Vale. They put it over the sideline. And their defence has been pretty solid tonight. Cool and composed. At this stage, they're down 1-0 in the first half at Knight Stadium in Sunshine. So Awad has it turned over down the right-hand side by Pascoe Vale, still in their defensive half. Raheny couldn't grab it. Young Georgopoulos can and control it to the right-hand side to Hatzikotsis and Lek. And Hatzikotsis again, 2 opponents around him, under some pressure. Goes back inside once more. But again held up a little bit. Pass down the right-hand side to Georgopoulos. Georgopoulos lobs it over the top, right across the goal face. No one on the end of that for Pascoe Vale, and cleared up comfortably by Offley. But his teammate it was intended for, Albano, was pushed off the line of it by Ishak. And now Pascoe Vale win it back. Hatzikostas, Albaska, pass not great. Getting in the road, the Knights win possession, Duzal. And then it's pushed back by Pascoe Vale and taken by Fearley. Fearley wins possession, goes high, headed away by Frangic inside the defensive half of the Knights. Another header by Hatzikostas for Pascoe Vale. And now the Knights try and control defensively, and Albano manages to strip it away from Raheny. Good contest, but it's a turnover. Again, well played by Pascoe Vale to win possession. Right on halfway. It's kicked into bodies. Maybe a falcon there of Awad. He's holding his head. He looks to be in a little bit of pain there as Melbourne Knights look to win possession at halfway. And he is in pain, Awad. He's in real pain. As the ref goes over to him, right in front of the Croatian cheer squad on the far side, Adam.
It's definitely a face plant. He's a little slow to get up. I'm sure he'll be okay though. Melbourne Knights at the moment, just the passing's a little bit sloppy, just too easily turning the ball back over around that halfway mark, and that's why we haven't seen Melbourne Knights really get into that attacking third for a good 5 or so minutes now. And there's been moments in this first half where it's been played on Pascoe Vale's terms, but the Knights have made it easy for them in the last 5 or so minutes, just with some sloppy haphazard to the passing.
So ball's at the back, and Frangic goes long and high, but no one on the end of that, and Fearley's there. Fancy footwork with Albaska. And Pascoe Vale can share it again, bring it out the right-hand side. Cheer squad have had a lot to look at. The ball has been on that far side a lot tonight. Georgopoulos sharing it. Hatzikostas, the holding midfielder. Back down the right-hand side. Albaska. Little ball's a good one. Looking for Hatzimaratis. Hatzimaratis tried to get it to Raheny, had it turned over. Here's Albano now, looking to get it to Awad. Again, good defence by Albaska. That was excellent defence right in a central location, 5 metres outside the penalty area, and Pascoe Vale will win possession again. The defence holding firm here, protecting Fearley, the goalkeeper. He's let one in. Wasn't much you could do about that, but generally the defence has been really good tonight. 1-0 the margin. Albaska now off the side of the boot, but it was intended for that far side, and then going back, and unfortunately a poor kick over the sideline, the defensive kick. Don't see that too often. How poor was that? Very sloppy. Has set up an opportunity for Melbourne Knights with a corner. A 20-metre defensive kick to the goalkeeper, couldn't hit the target. Pascoe Vale will be disappointed with that. Haven't done a lot wrong tonight, but that was one of their worst errors so far. Corey Sewell will take it. He is the corner taker for Melbourne Knights in these cool conditions at Knight Stadium, but it is the middle of winter in July. Sewell now. Low, flat ball, headed away on the far side again by the Pascoe Vale defence. Hurried boot comes out towards the right-hand side. Hatzimaradis in for shoot now. Can he control it? Defenders get back for the Melbourne Knights. He looks to cut inside. Hatzimaradis still in possession of the ball. Gets the ball now to Hatzikustas. Hatzikustas to the left-hand side. Taken by Ishak. Ishak a lobbing ball up to Hatzimaradis. Headed down. Trying to trap it. Not able to. Georgopoulos, 5 opponents around him and still manages to get a boot on it. And they clear it, Melbourne Knights, but they're under pressure. Player goes down for the Knights, luckily. And that was Albano. He'll take the free kick, still in the defensive half, with the Knights leading 1-0.
Not sure how much luck you're going to have if you're relying on Nick Georgopoulos as an aerial threat. And unfortunately, couldn't quite get to that ball that was coming his way at the top of the area that time. I see Hatzimaradis at the moment here on the left side. Maybe just a bit deeper I'd like him to be. It looks like he's swapped, at least for the time being, with Felipe Bernabeu Madrid.
Who hasn't really got into it yet, Madrid, as the ball's over the sideline, and Melbourne Knights, or the byline I should say, and Melbourne Knights unfortunately weren't able to get possession. I thought they had the corner kick originally, but it's going to be a goal kick, and it'll go the way of Pascoe Vale, and Fairley heads out to the right-hand side. They'll look to build again. Pascoe Vale, they've been pretty good in defence. Again, Raheny, that wasn't the best kick. Back to his goalkeeper, but Feely was there to take it. And it's headed away, and Pascoe Vale win possession inside their attacking half. Just inside their attacking half at the western end. Pass comes down to Raheny. And now he looks to build again. Helped out by Madrid. Turned over, though, by the Knights inside their attacking half. Now they're on the burst. Offley gets on the right-hand side, wants to get it from Albano. And Albano, what was he doing? Trying to lob it over the top. Missed everything by a country mile. I'm not sure what he was he trying to lob it to Offley? If he was, he completely miskicked it. If he was going for a shot at goal, he would have missed 2 or 3 goals.
Definitely a miscue as you see 1 minute go up. Yeah, that's probably about right. 1 minute of injury time at the end of this first half. I think it was just a miscue, but he just needs to work his way into the game a little bit more, and we'll see if Pascoe Vale in this last minute, it doesn't look like they will, get a chance to equalise. They need to be clean with this possession.
Georgopoulos, a good two-way runner, down the right-hand side. Good play, Raheny. It's chested away and brought down by Pascoe Vale down the right-hand side. Here's Hatzimaradis, and then in towards the box. He wasn't able to control. It was a beautiful cross. Beautiful cross by Leck. And Hatzimaradis arrived very, very late, but unfortunately he couldn't get a decent header on it. And it's over the byline, but you're right, they had an opportunity at the very last minute of this first half to equalise, and that was a pretty promising move down the right-hand side.
Yeah, this should be the end of the first half. If you're Pascoe Vale, you're feeling okay going into the sheds, I think, at half-time. Melbourne Knights probably feel like they should be maybe another goal ahead. That really bad missed opportunity late, but they've had a couple shots on target. Pascoe Vale, they've showed some fight. They've showed a little bit of heart since the goal in particular. I've liked the effort, but they need to start making the most of their opportunities, maybe just a bit more cleaner ball into that front third, and they might be able to get on the scoreboard in the second half.
So 1-0, terrific goal scored by Mohamed Awad inside the first 20 minutes. And from then on, you'd say it was 50-50 the monopolisation of possession for both teams. If that makes sense, you can't really say it's a monopolisation of possession if it's 50-50, but it was shared by both teams, maybe slightly in favour of Pascoe Vale, but Melbourne Knights have got a 1-0 lead as they look to keep their top 6 chances alive. Pascoe Vale, they'd love a win tonight or even 1 point to try and put them a step further away from relegation territory, although they're only 1 point off bottom spot, and obviously if they were to finish bottom they would be relegated. So they've got some work to do, but they're not playing like a bottom 3 team tonight against Melbourne Knights at Knights Stadium. It's Knights 1, Pascoe Vale 0, back for the second half shortly. A shot here to see what he can do. Again, they're very high. The Melbourne Knights players right on the edge of the penalty area, not far from where Sewell will take this. So he lobs it and they get out and they head it away and they score the second goal. That proves how little I know about football. I thought they were too high, but it's come out the back and Hamish Watson has scored the goal. Second goal for Knights, they lead 2-0. They were very clever the way that Watson got out the back. Sewell took the pace off it, he lobbed it, and the second goal comes in as the header gets past Nick Feely, who was hanging around the right-hand side, but it got past him, and it is 2-0.
I think it was Bryce.
I think it might have been Aidan Bryce. I thought it was Hamish Watson. No, it was Aidan Bryce with the long sleeves. Thanks, Adam. And, of course, he's there for the job to put the header in, and he was magnificent the way that he got on his bike and read it brilliantly. Fantastic goal.
Just apologies to the Facebook audience, might have just lost a bit of the feed there, but if you did miss it, Aidan Bryce just scored a lovely header. It's now 2-0 for Melbourne Knights. If you did miss that, apologies for the viewers that might have missed that.
Thank you, Adam. Yes, Aidan Bryce got out the right-hand side. I thought that, as I said a couple of times there, Adam, they were a little bit too high where they were stationed, but obviously that is what you call a set piece. And they would practice that at training, and unfortunately for Pascoe Vale, they weren't ready for it and probably should have been ready for it.
He's such a dangerous threat when he does go up front there, Aidan Bryce. He's probably the tallest man out on the pitch, and he's been threatening, basically all season as that man that can come forward and provide that aerial threat. We saw him deliver there. He's having an outstanding season, and he's been doing it at both ends. Here he is now.
And it's over the sideline. And Pascoe Vale in possession. Tellerico, his throat, he gets it back now, and it's a good curling ball which is headed over the sideline. And again, the defence of Melbourne Knights has been pretty solid as they look to get another clean sheet here. They'll lead 2-0. So it will be a corner kick for the Pascoe Vale team at the social club rooms or eastern end of Knight Stadium, very famous football stadium, home of many great NPL matches, particularly in the 90s when the Melbourne Knights dominated. Heading ball by the Knights defence, and now they've got a chance through Albano. Albano has players out on his left-hand side. He should have gone there, he hesitated. He allowed the defenders to come across. Adam was pointing left, right and centre saying you've got to go wide to your left-hand side, Gian, but he didn't do that. And now it's a chance for a turnover for Pascoe Vale. They're inside their attacking half. They come up with a free kick.
The reason why he might not have is because Awad was definitely offside as Gian Albano was just looking for whether or not he'd keep going for the run, maybe have the shot from long range or look for the pass. Had he have gone to Awad, it definitely would have been an offside.
So it will be a free kick to Pascoe Vale about 10 to 12 metres outside the penalty area. And it's a 2-0 lead to Melbourne Knights. Goals to Bryce early in this half and Awad in the first half. A lobbing ball takes the pace off it, but it rolls away meekly and harmlessly. And a Pascoe Vale player is down inside the box. Was there some connection there? A number of players running into him. I'm not sure. I didn't see it, but he looked like he was in a bit of trouble. He'll get up now. And pleading with the ref that maybe there should have been a penalty as he was inside the penalty area. As they spread it wide again, looking to build through Bryce. Goes wide now, Glavan. Been good down the left-hand side, runs out of room, and Leck puts it over the sideline. Still in the defensive half, in front of the Pascoe Vale coaches box. They trail 2-0, the third bottom side, or equal second bottom side. better goal difference. As Saul wins it down the right-hand side now. Chance for Offley. Offley, can he beat opponents at the top of the area? He'll look to shoot, and it just hits the crossbar and also the right-hand goal post as it went off bodies as well from the Pascoe Vale team. So there was a ricochet hitting that right-hand goal post, and I thought it was cleared by Pascoe Vale, but it rebounded away and it had beaten fairly, but luckily for him, it didn't go through. Could have been 3-0, remains at 2-0.
Ended up being offside there. Maybe was a handball potentially as well off Awad, but he had an open look at goal there. Offley decided that he didn't want to go on the right peg, cut back onto the left, and that's when the gap just closed up. Just unfortunate he got on the wrong side that time, Attila Offley.
So it goes back from Pascoe Vale to Fairley. And it'll be over the sideline. Avascal again involved. But their defence was a bit betwixt and between then. Tellerico. Raheny down the left-hand side. They look to build now. Ishak. Offley confronts him. Goes back down to Georgopoulos in the attacking half. Raheny again with some room. Down the right-hand side, had it cut off. Good turnover by Knights. Albano finds Duzal. Watson now cutting inside towards the top of the penalty area. Finds Awad. Good passing. Awad tries to get it past Georgopoulos. He did well to get goal side. To get it back. And good play by Georgopoulos. Heads down the right-hand side. But again, Croatia turn it over at midfield. Offley once again. Watson controlling it. Two opponents around him. Beats him off with sticks. He's got Awad through if he can get it to him. He can't. Bryce. In fact, it's Duzal under some pressure. Has to go wide. Has to go long. I think he's gone a bit too wide with this. Very close to the sideline. Kept alive. And then back again towards the top of the penalty area. Melbourne Knights in possession. In their attacking half. Putting a lot of pressure on us, Georgopoulos. Couldn't control the passes. Duzal, the top of the penalty area. Turnover, maybe on the counter-attack here for Pascoe Vale. But Rahene's pass in trying to find Leckie wasn't good enough, and it goes over the sideline at halfway.
Loved how high Pascoe Vale's line was there. Melbourne Knights couldn't find a way through, and again, Awad in particular was in an offside position and just relinquished his presence in that attack for Melbourne Knights. It was a really good line that Pascoe Vale set up that time, and Melbourne Knights couldn't do anything when they had possession.
Avascal again. Leckie. Raheny brought down on halfway. Pascoe Vale ball. Chasing the game at 2-0. Need a couple urgently. Otherwise, if results go against them this weekend, they could be on the bottom and in the prime position for relegation. Turnover, though, just inside the defensive half for Melbourne Knights in front of the Mark Viduka Lounge. We're broadcasting from in the grandstand. One of the most famous names in football and probably the most famous name at the Knights when they dominated the NPL in the 90s. He was a crucial player up front as a teenager. Raheny wins it. Good ball through. Madrid keeping it alive. Pass out wide. Hatzi Moratis. They look to build again. This is Ishak. Cross ball. Good curling ball to the top of the penalty area. And trying to keep it alive. Tellerico did the best he could, but it will be a Melbourne Knights ball. He knew it was going out. The Melbourne Knights players, they put the brakes on because they were going to win possession, and they do win possession, leading 2-0. And in front of the grandstand, reasonable crowd here tonight. Grandstand about half full. The Mark Viduka Lounge must be for all the members and legends and club benefactors. Adam, they're in there having a lovely time. It's about 3/4 full. As there's a little bit of a discussion in mid-pitch, three of the Melbourne Knights players, one of them Awad, Watson as well, having a chat to the ref. Not sure what that's about. Hatzi Kutsis involved, one of the Hatzis. Down the right-hand side, well, it's taken comfortably by Hennessy for Pascoe Vale as he turns over the throw, which is coming down the left-hand side from Melbourne Knights. And then Hatzi Kustas has it. Down that left-hand side, he goes long. Jerkovic is at the back. The big fellow doesn't move that quickly, but there's a lot of him. Takes on a couple of opponents and keeps running. Still down that right-hand side, a lobbing ball, but no one home. Stopped at the back again. Tallarico. Hennessy. Back to Tallarico, wearing the captain's armband now. Lecky wins the ball. On halfway, good inside pass, Raheny. This is better by Pascoe Vale. Out on the right-hand side, outlet ball towards Lecky. A couple of opponents keeping him honest, trying to turn it over. One of them was Glavan. He does well to get it to the top of the 6-yard box, headed away by the Melbourne Knights again. They've got players trying to control it. They can't. Turned over by Pascoe Vale. Back inside their attacking half. Ishak again. He has to go wide. And now Pascoe Vale coming from the left-hand side, but again a good turnover. This is good defence by Melbourne Knights. They've been excellent tonight. But once again, Ishak wins back possession, but has no one to give it to in an attacking position. Goes back defensively. And Hennessy will win the ball on the switch on the right-hand side at halfway. His pass is okay. Inside ball comes from Tallarico. Good ball, Georgopoulos, down the right-hand side. But getting in front of him, goal side is Albano. That's a good contest. And it's going to be over the sideline. It will be a ball going the way of the Pascoe Vale team. Heading to the social club rooms, but they're down 2-0. Raheny. And offside. And it will be a Melbourne Knights ball. So games in the holding pattern at the moment, Adam. It's pretty hard to see where the Pascoe Vale team's going to get their goals, though.
I think I'd like to see Stephen Atzakostas playing a bit further up the field at the moment. He's playing almost in that back formation as a defending kind of midfielder. We can see him just behind halfway at the moment. Hatzimaratis not having much of an impact, neither is Felipe Bernabeu Madrid. I think Steve Hatzakostas, maybe Rahimi as well, who's looked dangerous at times tonight. They could just enter themselves into the game if they can get a bit more ball through midfield and maybe set something up through those two in particular, maybe Nick Georgopoulos as well. They'll start becoming a bit more dangerous, Pascoe Vale.
Pascal back to Feely. Feely goes long. Melbourne Knights couldn't control the nod over the sideline on their far side in front of quite a large number of their diehard supporters who'll stand out in any sort of conditions and watch their team, particularly in front of the soon-to-be demolished commentary box, which both Adam and I have broadcast from. It's a great view, and as the Melbourne Knights have said, just probably needs a little bit of work, a bit of a refurbishment, but it's got a lot of potential. As the Melbourne Knights have potential in this move here as they turn it over again with the Pascoe Vale team deep in attack. They've got it at halfway. And Offley does well. He's passed down the right-hand side. Those chopped off again. Raheny wins it at ground level. Tried to control it. Awad was with him. Awad has 2 or 3 to beat and does pretty well. But in the end, the numbers overwhelm him. But once more, Knights get numbers back and Awad wins it for Sewell. Sewell in mid-pitch as they go from defence into attack here, Knights. Still slightly in a defensive position. Glavan has the ball. And now he finds Albano. Back to Glavan. Also getting involved was Duzal. Turnover. Clever by Tallarico with 3 opponents around him. But then Sewell, because the numbers were so much in Melbourne Knights' favour. Sewell lobs over the top. Down the right-hand side to Offley. Watson's in the box. Offley does well. Gets in a good position after an opponent slips over. Gets it to Awad. Awad looking to control it. Good defence. And then the shot just hits the goal post. And it gets back to a rebounding Duzal. Unfortunately for the Melbourne Knights, a shot inside the penalty area has hit the left-hand goal post, ricocheted back to Duzal, but he couldn't control his shot, and it's over the byline. A lot happening, Adam. Could have been 3-0, should have been 3-0.
Yeah, it should definitely be 3-0. We've got Melbourne Knights' first substitution now, Dan, and looks like Duzal is coming off.
And Callum Whitney is coming on.
We saw Whitney come on last week as well for Melbourne Knights at Lakeside Stadium against South Melbourne. Probably expect him to maybe slot maybe on the right wing and have an impact there to number 4 for Melbourne Knights.
So it's 2-0. And really, they're in dire straits now, Pascoe Vale. They must score. They've been okay at the back most of the time. They could have been down 3-0, but they just haven't looked like scoring. It's been that last pass in the final third which has let them down, which Adam and I, particularly Adam's been talking a lot about tonight. Pascoe has possession, and then eventually they get it deep inside their attacking area. Hasn't had a lot to do, the goalkeeper, Gifkins, for the Melbourne Knights. A couple of headers in mid-pitch, going nowhere in a hurry. Sewell there, getting a little boot on it, is Georgopoulos. A chance now for Pascoe Vale and a free kick to Hatzikostas, who goes wide now to Hennessy. Hennessy on the left. Finds the captain at the moment. Tallarico. And now Raheny. Hatzikostas involved as well. Brought down as Lecky, but gets his boot away nicely. Down the left-hand side to Ishak. Ishak goes down, two players scrambling half of the ball at the top of the penalty area. And a yellow card is given against Pascoe Vale. It will be a Melbourne Knights ball. Sure, there was a lot involved in that, although both players were actually clamouring into each other in endeavours to get the ball. Just thought it was a good contest.
I'm not sure the card was for that particular contest, Dan. That was a sort of 50-50. To me, it looked like the card went to Corey Sewell. Something must have happened in the lead-up to that ball on the left, because I'm pretty sure that card has gone to Corey Sewell of Melbourne Knights. So I'm not entirely sure why.
Long ball comes back. And the Knights back inside the attacking half. They can build again. Good through ball. He's offside though, Awad. He's well offside. He'd snuck out the back. No one saw him get out the back there. He was so quick, but he was well offside. It was a good idea though at the time. Down the right-hand side, Lecky in pursuit. Can he get there before the byline does? He does. He's under pressure. He puts it up to the top of the penalty area. Curling ball, Tallarico. Good header at the back by Frangic. Does well to protect his goalkeeper. That was a promising move by Pascoe Vale. Back to the 10-yard box. They have another chance. Could have been some handball and a player brought down. And there's going to be a penalty. A penalty. Handball against the Melbourne Knights. It'll go the way of Pascoe Vale. I stopped for a second because I was thinking, was the handball against Pascoe Vale, because I thought most of the supporters up and about were Knights, but there are a few Pascoe Vale supporters here, and you can probably tell that there was handball.
It looked like it was being waved off initially. I don't know if the assistant referee came in from the right and insisted that he saw the handball, but this was the break that Pascoe Vale needed. Now Hatzimuratis has to score.
He does. Oh, and he just gets it in. It was a good effort by Gifkins. He kicked right into the body of Gifkins, who did well to thrust his boot out, and it ricochets off the knee roll and goes in. So they were hoping for their fifth clean sheet this year. They don't get it, and the game stays alive. And you can hear a pin drop at Knight Stadium with the penalty going the way of Hatzimuratis, and all of a sudden the Pascoe Vale bench is up and about saying, come on, we're still a chance to at least get a point. And maybe Melbourne Knights will again increase their intensity as the ball from the middle of the pitch, unfortunately for the Melbourne Knights team, from Whitney, had too much on it and goes over the sideline. He was the substitute. And it's won by Pascoe Vale down the left-hand side. And they have to go back now and try and set up again through Fairley. And a nice ball comes out from Abascal, and he finds Lecky. Lecky just inside the attacking half. Back to Raheny. Raheny now goes to mid-pitch. Hatzikostas, but he's turned this over. No, he hasn't. Glavan approached it, but did he take his eye off the ball then? It slid off his boot. And a bad mistake. Won by Tallarico for Pascoe Vale. 2-1 after a penalty. Scored by Hatzimuratis. Maybe for a handball, we think. And again, good defence by Hennessy. Gets it inside the attacking half of Pascoe Vale, but only momentarily. Won by Sewell again. Well controlled by Watson. Watson's pass is not bad. It gets behind the defender. falls to Offley. Getting into position, Watson inside the penalty area. And is it offside? Well, offside. The ref didn't see it. He wasn't even looking, was he, at the sideline, ref, Adam? That was offside for a long time.
No, the flag was up for a while. Just play seemed to continue until the man, I think it was actually offside in Watson, or might have been Albano, actually got a touch on the ball. That's a couple of times now Melbourne Knights have been caught offside. It is a high line that Pascoe Vale are holding in defence at the moment, and the Knights just haven't adjusted.
No, they haven't. And Hennessy, his father's an assistant coach at Pascoe Vale, as he tried to get it to Lecky, and it's over the sideline. He's up on his feet now, the assistant coach, issuing instructions. Good play, a lobbing ball by Hatzikutsis, and then at the bootlaces of Raheny. Raheny finds Georgopoulos, had it turned over again. Anwad's there. Georgopoulos once again shoved off by Anwad, but keeps control of the ball. Down the left-hand side, a long ball from Ishak. That had a little bit too much on it as it switches. Tellerico will keep it alive. A couple of opponents surrounding him, putting pressure on him, trying to put him in two minds. Gets close towards the byline. Good work, good defensive work by Albano, who can play as an attacker and a defender, and he was very good then, keeping Tellerico honest. But in the end, they concede a corner. Melbourne Knights putting a bit more pressure on them as they lead 2-1. Low kick, headed away. Lecky took the corner kick. Good defence by Melbourne Knights, but once again getting in the road and having a shot from a long way out. Hatzikutsis, and his shot was about 5 metres outside the penalty area. Had too much elevation on it and sails way over the crossbar to cause any consternation as far as the Melbourne Knights are concerned. They still lead 2-1.
If the score's 2-0, I can understand cracking a shot like that, but they're only one goal away from drawing level here, Pascoe Vale, at the moment. I know they're looking for all 3 points this evening, but Felipe Benabao Madrid could have just sat on that ball a little bit longer, maybe look for a passing option instead of blazing away like that. Pascoe Vale's not in a desperate enough situation yet where you can blaze away like that, just willy-nilly.
We've seen a lot of goals in the women's comp this year where players have scored from well outside the penalty area. I think I had 10 matches in a row where I saw it. Some spectacular stuff, and they're reasonably defensively minded, the women, but the men even more so. Very well structured. A lot of draws, a lot more draws in this competition. And the score's not as high scoring. If you win 2-0, that's almost seen as a bit of a thrashing. It's 2-1 at the moment. Hatzikutsis under some pressure. Well pressed by the attackers of Melbourne Knights, forcing him to go back to Feely, who has had an easier time of it in this half. And now they've got it at halfway. Player brought down at halfway, nearly lost it for Pascoe Vale. And that's Hatzi Maradas. Now he gets it towards Georgopoulos. Has been good since coming on as a sub early in the match. A long left foot ball from Ishak towards the 6-yard box. It's headed down and nodded in the right direction by the Pascoe Vale attackers, but straight into the waiting arms of Gifkins, who's been pretty solid as a goalkeeper tonight. Wasn't far away from saving that penalty that produced a goal for Hatzi Maradas of Pascoe Vale. It ricocheted off his knee roll. And now they turn it over again, Georgopoulos, but unfortunately his teammate slips over Raheen. He's not happy about that. In fact, it was Madrid who slipped over. And we've talked about the slipsies all night. The surface being a little bit unstable in patches. Here's a chance now for Awar. Does well. Beautiful sliding ball on the left-hand side. Albano under some pressure, gets inside the penalty area, to the top of the penalty area. Had it stripped though brilliantly. Good defence by Hatzi Cosmas. Does well to bring it down that right-hand side. Puts it over the sideline, or was it no, it's a free kick. Two players clamour into each other in a pretty tight contest, as there's going to be a substitution, and one made for Pascoe Vale. And they're going to bring on number 7, Jesse Matthews. And he'll come on and replace number 11, Bernardo Madrid, Philip Bernardo Madrid, who hasn't had a huge influence on the match tonight. So Melbourne Knights ball, Long ball towards the penalty area, headed down again by the defence of Pascoe Vale. Rahini's there, gets it back now to Hennessy, has to get it to Feely. Had an opponent right in front of him, so he kicks it quickly towards halfway. It's kicked on again by Tallarico, but they've got numbers at the back and they should clear. Frangic elects to go back now towards Gifkins, and they'll set up down the right-hand side in front of the cheer squad here for the Melbourne Knights. Good attack on the football by the Knights, and by Pascoe Vale, and they turn it over. Rahini does well, but there's offside. Well picked up by the sideline judge on the far side as a Pascoe Vale player snuck out and was just approaching the penalty area. There's been a lot of offsides tonight, Adam.
Yeah, second half in particular. Tell you what though, I like the intent of Pascoe Vale at the moment. They're using that left side and certainly attacking Melbourne Knights and pushing them back and just a little bit more energy out there for the visitors as we speak. And I would like to see that continue for the next 15 minutes. Their season is on the line and they're playing like it at the moment, Pascoe Vale.
Lots of urgency. Hatzi Costas manages to get it towards his teammate on the far side. And this is Ishak. Has to go back to Hatzi Costas at midfield. Just inside the attacking half. Now to Hennessy. Hennessy striding hard. Goes wide now to Tallarico. And a lot of players hailing Cavs. A Melbourne Knights ball. Jesse Matthews was saying, I'm not sure that I had the last touch. A couple of Melbourne Knights opponents around him. They have possession through Albano, still inside the defensive half. They really can't put together a lot of decent passes in their attacking half, Knights. A bit like Pascoe Vale at this western end of the first half. Now Albano has a chance down the left-hand side. He has Hennessy goal side on him. He tries to turn him inside out. He gets towards the box, but then a lovely stop near the left-hand upright. He had it well covered and he was well camped there, Feely, as that was good zigzagging by Gian Albano. But his pass just didn't have enough on it, and his attempted shot, and it's knocked over the byline. It will be a corner for Corey Sewell.
I think he was going to find the stick or the side netting anyway, but just wanted to be really sure of it, Nick Feely. This is another dangerous ball coming in. I'm looking for Aiden Bryce. We know he is the danger man.
They're a lot deeper too where they're camped. They're right on the edge of the 6-yard box. Aiden Bryce is at the back there. They went for a pass. And this is a good opportunity by Offley, and then well stopped as he drove hard along the turf. Well stopped by Feely, got a decent hand on it. A great piece of goalkeeping. Again, put it over the byline, and Corey Sewell have another crack from the other side of the corner kick. But that was a good attempt by Offley and a great save by Feely.
Again, Nick Feely, he as I said it before in the first half, he has been outstanding. I can't imagine what Pascoe Vale's goal difference would be if it wasn't for Nick Feely this season. He's made 2 big saves there in the last couple of minutes, and in the first half as well. He's having a great night. Here's
Sewell, curling ball. Good defence by Pascoe Vale. They headed away. Awad nodded it back inside the penalty area, gets the ball again. Has to go back now. Looking to shoot, but he takes the pace off it. It was a good attempt by Bryce. It's kept alive, is it, by Offley? No, it's not. It's over the byline, and it'll be taken by Feely. I thought Offley nearly had that. So 2-1. Time starting to run out for Pascoe Vale. But a good contest. Long ball by Feely. Headed though back inside the attacking half by Sewell. A good nod though defensively by the Pascoe Vale team. They get it back in their attacking half. Now down the right-hand side. Here's Bryce and Awad. Turnover. Here's an opportunity. Hatzi Kutzes down the right-hand side. But coming out to meet that is Gifkins. In fact, he waits for it to go over the byline. That was good heady goalkeeping by Geordie Gifkins, the goalkeeper of the Melbourne Knights. He had an opponent right with him, which could have been danger zones or danger times for Melbourne Knights at the Social Club Room ends, but it doesn't. And they're in possession again. 2-1, closing stages. The Melbourne Knights, well, both teams with their season on the line, looking to stay in touch with the top 6 and trying to avoid relegation. Pascoe Vale, still some games to go. But if results go against them and they lose tonight, they could be on the bottom of the table, as there will be an offside here as there was a bit of volleying of the ball inside the attacking half by the Melbourne Knights. And it'll be taken by Hennessy. Hatzi-Kostas, who's been a busy midfielder. Hennessy again. Hatzi-Kostas still inside the defensive half. Arriving Georgopoulos. Giving them vim and vitality since coming on. Good ball by Hennessy, but just a little bit wide in the end. Too much on it. Looking for his teammate Matthews, one of the subs, to run onto it. He couldn't. And Melbourne Knights will take their time and take the ball at the back through Aidan Bryce. The score of the second goal from a lovely header from a nice set piece, a nice free kick taken by Corey Sewell in this second half to give his team a 2-0 lead. And there was a penalty the way of Pascoe Vale, Hatzi Moratis, to make it 2-1. It's pushed inside the attacking half towards Awad of Melbourne Knights, but they get numbers around the contest. Rahimi of Pascoe Vale. Sewell was stripped of it. Through ball came from Lecky. Comes back from Melbourne Knights at halfway. Again a header provided by Hennessy. Awad wins it again, traps it. Tried to get it out to Offley, hanging outside on the right-hand side. But Albasca turns him inside out. Controls the ball brilliantly for Pascoe Vale. Down the left-hand side to Lecky. And now Georgopoulos, who's been terrific. He really has shown a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of run, and he's done everything he can, both defensively and attacking-wise, to keep his team in this match. They trail 2-1 since coming on as a sub early in the first half with injury to captain Joseph Youssef for Pascoe Vale. They're in possession now, Pascoe Vale. Here's Hatzi. Kostas under pressure just at the top of the penalty area. He's going to get a penalty. He was trying to get around opponents. Free kick, is it? Just outside the penalty. I thought it was inside. Just outside, is it, Adam?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to be a free kick just outside the area. You can see the wall being set up just right on the paint there. Just got chopped really late. First touch just a little too heavy, but he's done well to win his side a free kick here, Stephen Hatzi-Kostas, and they need to make the most of this Pascoe Vale. And they draw level. We're going to get a pretty frantic finish here at Knight Stadium. They are readying a change. I think it's Gergic who's going to come on here for Melbourne Knights. It'll be after the free kick, a really massive opportunity for the set piece here for Pascoe Vale, and they really need this for their season.
It was line ball, wasn't it? I thought he might have just been in the penalty area, but obviously just outside or just on the top of it. So free kick. And it just goes over the top. Certainly diving hard was Gifkins. Not sure that he would have stopped that. It had nice elevation, but in the end probably just a little bit too much elevation. And they dodge a bullet. It's 2-1 and the miss occurs. So you're right. Gergic will get ready to come on. I think there might be a couple of changes. Albano's coming off. So Albano off. Gergic on. Is that the right substitution?
Yeah, he's been working hard on night, Albano. I would have thought maybe Attila Offley as well. That last run was a really tired run. He's been working hard all night. I was probably expecting Offley to be the next move off. I would have kept Albano out there, but I'll trust Ben Surrey's better judgment than mine here.
Because they still need to win the game, don't they? I mean they're 2-1 up. They can park the bus if they want, but they'd still love one more, wouldn't they? And Albano's one of the better attacking players in the team. Yeah,
they'd like one more just to be safe here. Melbourne Knights. Hamish Watson is on top of the ball here at the moment. Has been playing well high up. Another chance for Pascoe Vale.
Yes, Raheny has been a terrific midfielder for them tonight. They control it about 5 metres outside the penalty area. Here's a chance, arriving hard. Tallarico to the top of the penalty area. Raheny back to Tallarico. Can't quite control it. Wants to get goal side. And a good contest with Awad. And it's going to be a corner. A corner for Pascoe Vale. Again, some nervous times for the Melbourne Knights supporters in the grandstand just near the Mark Viduka Lounge. 2-1. I can hardly touch my nose or my hands. It's that cold, Adam. Another one of these cold nights, but a clear day. Lovely deep ball. Almost a chance for a header. Missed. And then at the back, Georgopoulos not able to control it. And it'll be a Melbourne Knights ball.
It was Gonzalo Pascal that almost had a free header there and just completely missed it. That was a lovely ball in. It was a great corner, probably Pascoe Vale's best corner of the night. Pascal can't connect. If he does, I've got a feeling it's 2-2.
Well, that's right. he was right there, wasn't he? He was right there on the edge of it, and he just couldn't connect, and it was a very deep ball. And to get it inside the attacking half, headed down by Watson, headed on again, Franjic, and Offley, and turned over once again. They're winning all the possession at the moment, Pascoe Vale, but they lose possession now just inside the defensive half, but not doing enough with it, Melbourne Knights, as Raheny tried to get a touch, and then Offley pushed it on, but there was no one on the end of that as he volleyed it over the sideline, and they can load up again. 2-1 the lead for Melbourne Knights over Pascoe Vale. They bring it inside the attacking half. Nice header down by Bryce and Sewell. And now controlling it inside their attacking half, Watson. Can he win proper possession? He charges a couple of opponents to ground, does well, and he has an opportunity on the end of it, but not able to finish it off. Great defence by Feely. Just had too much on it. He was able to stop it, and they'll bring it back now through Tellerico. Tellerico inside to Raheny. Raheny wins it for Pascoe Vale to Hatzikostas. Hatzikostas now goes wide to the left-hand side. Leakey has it now, and they're down 2-1. Time running out. Back inside the defensive half momentarily. Now the attacking half for Pascoe Vale. Number of players sharing the football. And now they lob it long to the right-hand side. Waiting for it to control it is Tellerico in the orange boots. Good ball to Matthews. Matthews gets tangled and over the sideline. It will be a Melbourne Knights ball. Well played by the big frame of Aidan Bryce. Getting in the road of Jess Matthews, who's looking to set something up. Now, Bryce again, lobbing ball towards halfway. Here's Watson, almost involved in the last attempt on goal. Couldn't quite get enough on it. Turned over by Hatzikostas, has been good tonight. Sewell's there. Maybe an opportunity here for Awad. Awad has it turned over by Raheen. Defenders at the back. Larvin there for Melbourne Knights. Now taken by Hennessy for Pascoe Vale. A lot of energy still left in this game. 2-1 lead for Melbourne Knights. Long ball by Pascoe Vale, but no one on the end of it, and comfortably cleaned up at the back by Gifkins.
We're looking at about 5 minutes or so left before we're up in the 90, and I can't, Dan, imagine too many minutes of added time at the moment. Pascoe Vale are running out of opportunities here to draw level. I highly doubt they're going to be able to win this game now, as we see another attack here for Offley.
Saul to Awful, and his shot, unfortunately, goes wide. It was him and the goalkeeper in the end as he got on the right side then, and he was stayed onside as well, and he gave them a good run, a good option down that right-hand side, and he had a shot and he missed. And they've had a few shots off target tonight, Melbourne Knights, as they still lead 2-1. Hennessy gets the switch in front of our commentary position, looks for Raheny, turned over the sideline. One by Raheny. From Hennessy, Tellerico involved. They tried to keep possession. And there's a player offside again as they lost possession. Pascoe Vale, and Watson was one offside possession. And you've said it a lot, Pascoe Vale have been very, very high with their defensive structure.
I think that's happening because Pascoe Vale has been chasing the game. So they're definitely playing a little more attacking. There's a Melbourne Knights man that's requiring some treatment at the moment, Dan, so we'll get a brief stop in play. That probably could help Pascoe Vale. It might add a middle or two after the 90, give them a little bit more opportunity to look for another goal. So this might actually play into Pascoe Vale's hands. Melbourne Knights are getting ready for their final change now as well.
Just to try and add a little bit more pace, a little bit more freshness. And this will be Luke Urick coming on. Pint-sized player, getting an opportunity late in the match to see if he might put the finishing touches on this game and keep the Melbourne Knights within striking distance of the top six. Glavin comes off. So they have possession, Pascoe Vale, still in their defensive half. Raheny Waiting for it is Hennessy's all on his own. He'll receive the switch now. He'll look to drive inside the attacking half. They sag back the Melbourne Knights defenders, but that's a very poor ball as Jurovic was there to be able to head it down, and he got it to Offley. Offley, gee, making up plenty of ground. Through ball again, but no one on the end of that, and he's well outside the penalty area. Elects to foot it away, the goalkeeper, Feely. Does well. Got it down that left-hand side, and Pascoe Vale looking to build once more through Madrid. And it's over the sideline. So it will be a Melbourne Knights ball. They can take their time as much as they like. They lead 2-1. They scored a goal early. Through Awad in the first half. Led 1-0 at half-time. Lovely goal from a set piece. Nice header by Bryce in the second half. Gave them a 2-0 lead. And then a penalty for Hatzi Maratis of Pascoe Vale. Enlivened their chances. Got it to 2-1, and that's where we stand at the moment. Hennessy, Tellerico, slightly hesitant. Takes on Awad, beats him. Back inside the defensive half for Pascoe Vale. Hennessy again. An opportunity. Hatzi Costas. His pass is wide to Tellerico. And now Georgopoulos takes them on, wants to get goal side. Keeping him, though, from being goal side. Good defence by Uric, who's just come on, of course, as the sub. He puts it over the byline and gives another corner opportunity for Pascoe Vale deep in this match. They trail 2-1.
Everyone's come up except for Nick Feely. Obviously, Hatzakostas is the last man back. Again, I'm looking for Gonzalo Abascal. Had the free header in the last corner. Couldn't quite connect. He's the danger man again here for Pascoe Vale. We might get a sub before the corner, though. We will.
He's a big man, number 18, coming on too for them. In John Sebastian from Welcome Back Cotter. It was a magnificent song, Welcome Back Cotter. Or from the TV show Welcome Back Cotter from John Sebastian. John Sebastian Munoz comes on. And Hatzi Costas comes off. It's a low corner, and they saw it coming, the Melbourne Knights defenders, and they rushed at it. And a number of players got a header on it, including a Pascoe Vale player. And he's the one who's been adjudged to have put it over the byline. And there are 3 minutes of injury time left. 3 minutes of injury time left. And it's basically now or never for the Pascoe Vale side.
Would have been two if Glavan didn't go down a couple of minutes ago. It's a little bit of saving grace for Pascoe Vale. Melbourne Knights just need to hold on. Pascoe Vale just been dominating possession for much of the night. It's 3 minutes for the Knights to hold on. Let's see how they go.
Can they do it? Be a big win for them. Both have been a bit out of form in recent weeks. Just one win in their past 5 for both teams. Long ball towards halfway, headed down by Watson, headed away by Hennessy and over the sideline. And now Awad's got it. They can lead 2-0. They can take their time in the way they play the next 2.5 minutes. They're in possession at the moment inside their attacking half. In front of the home coach's dugout. Ball comes from Uric, the sub. Munoz receives for Pascoe Vale. Gives it now to one of the players of the night who's been, Abascal's been outstanding. Long ball though, cut off by Sewell inside the defensive half for Knights. Brings it down the right-hand side. They look to get going again and try and set something up through Matthews. He's running out of some room. And that'll go over the sideline. And it will be a ball going the way of Pascoe Vale. Munoz gives it back again. Rahini's been a good player for them. Long ballooning ball. Headed away again. Player is offside. Player was offside for Pascoe Vale as the ball came in their direction inside the attacking half. And Melbourne Knights can certainly ice the clock a bit here. Time is running out in the 3 minutes of injury time. They lead 2-1. And there'll be a lot of satisfied Knights supporters, I think, Adam, about to leave Sunshine with a win. And knowing that they're still alive in the battle for a spot in a very tight competition, in a battle for a spot in the top 6. With 6 rounds left after this one. Was it 5? No, 5 left after this. That's right, round 22. Here's Offley receiving on the right-hand side. Wants to get inside his opponent. Kicks into the body. Good play again by the defence of Pascoe Vale. Awfully though involved. Two terrific players who've been line hunting tonight. Pascal's the other one there for Pascoe Vale, and he wins it for them. He does well to cut inside. Tries to get the ball down that left-hand side, but Rahimi can't control it over the sideline on halfway. It's footed on again. Offley again. The header. Stop Vale Pascoe inside the penalty area. One last chance. Here's Tallarico. Has it turned over again by the strong defence of the Melbourne Knights. They search down the right-hand side. Jurkovic beats one, beats two, and he's brought down. It'll be a free kick outside the penalty area. Definitely brought down front on as he had charged about 30 or 40 metres with a long searching run.
This will be game over. Whistle should go probably after this set piece does take place. Just a frustrated sort of challenge there. Again, Pascoe Vale, that last possession they had, can't get that through ball going. They're lacking that final touch.
And there it is, 2-1 win to Melbourne Knights. They'd be happy with that. They hung on despite a goal, a penalty for the Pascoe Vale side in the second half to Hatzimaradis. Goals in the first half to Awad, and then a lovely goal in the second half from a set piece, a free kick taken by Corey Sewell. He took the pace off it, and then getting out the back on the right-hand side with a lovely header, the tall figure of Aidan Bryce, and his team win 2-1. The Melbourne Knights, and they keep alive their top six chances. Adam, can they still make the playoffs, do you think, with a performance like that?
Yeah, they definitely can. They've got a very busy schedule coming up. We know that. They've got FFA Cup. They've got Doherty Cup final against Hume City coming up in August as well. It's a very busy schedule. Whether that works in their favour or not, we'll see. Obviously, time will tell. A pretty good win here tonight against Pascoe Vale. Pascoe Vale just couldn't finish in the end with those couple of chances. Pretty good night in goal by Gifkins as well. Just a really good performance by Melbourne Knights on their home turf on this Friday night.
Thanks to Adam. It's great to have one of the great callers in the competition with us, Adam Sirakoglu, with us tonight. A big win by Melbourne Knights, 2-1 over Pascoe Vale, who've now got some work to do to try and avoid relegation. Thanks for your company. We'll have plenty more football for Football Victoria in the Premier Leagues, in the men's and women's, right throughout the weekend. Enjoy your footy and your weekend.